Wednesday, one day before I go to work. I always have 3 days off. Unfortunately, I had to turn down that other job because I didn't want to work at no store 3 times a week selling merchandise, and then you add outside events because I had did the math. If it's that job and the job I already have now, it's like 26 hours. The money's good, but then if you think about it, that's like you add in another 10 hours, and then next you know you're doing almost 40 hours, if not 40 hours, and I would not be able to have no money. Well, the problem is I would have too much money available and will not be able to even get a house or an apartment or a car, things of that nature. And who wants to go through all of that? That's not why you're watching my YouTube video. Now, public service announcement. I have just ran out of space on my actual YouTube channel. The one that's very popular. The one that just blew up and took off. Yeah, I got 199 videos. And I had to delete 2 videos off of there to make some space. But if I make one more video onto that channel, it'll just be 200 videos. So every time we get to like 190 or 210 videos and we run out of space, I have to make another YouTube channel. So this is the reserve channel, and then the reserve channel has gone viral, which is a good thing because if you're not able to watch that channel, you're able to watch this channel. So keep in mind that if you go to that channel and you notice there are 2 videos that were uploaded this past week, and then all of a sudden this 1 week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, and you're like, how come there ain't no more videos? It's because I ran out of space on that channel. Every now and then I might try to delete some of the videos that don't make as many views to try to put a newer video onto that channel for that subscriber, for that fan base, because a lot of them don't realize that I've had to, make multiple channels, and if they do know, then they're probably not going to switch over, because to keep going to new channels and subscribing, it does become a bit frustrating and tiresome. Some you be like, man, I already subscribed to 2 of your channels. Well, you done made 2 more channels I didn't know about? What? They'd be frustrated. At this point, they'll probably just watch this channel rather than to subscribe, which I understand clearly. Wouldn't take it personal. Now, this is a football prediction because less than 24 hours from now, we're going to end up doing, it's going to be the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Now, this one is probably going to be a very competitive football game. Now, I know the Rams lost in a blowout to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which I don't think nobody anticipated the Rams losing. They were at home on Sunday. They had the home crowd. They had that powerful energy. And they had the hostile crowd. So you're trying to figure, how did the Rams lose that football game? Now, the word is one of their quarterbacks or wide receivers are injured. I don't know how true that is because I did not watch Sunday's football game. I was out at the mall, which it was crowded as hell, and then I went to the gym late. And I went to go watch the Saints and Cowboys game, which the Saints won by 2. And then I got home and my uncle was like, I heard the Rams lost. And then my dad was like, yeah, they lost. They got smashed on. That's the one time I expect the Rams, to win. If they were to lose, I would expect them to lose to somebody like the Eagles or the Patriots, somebody that's like a challenge. In this case, they're doing the exact what I expect. They're going to be having a challenge. Now, the Rams are already off to a good start. They're winning football games. They're beating teams. They're winning games in the season. They seem like they're going to go back to the playoffs, so that's not the issue. Now, if it is true, if the wide receiver or the quarterback is injured, then the problem is you're going against a powerful defense in Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. And he hasn't forgotten about that loss last season. Like, yeah, they played each other 3 times in the season, but the Rams beat the Seahawks like twice. And Russell Wilson only won 1 time out of that whole entire season. And then he struggled, and then they got eliminated in the playoffs. So I know he's looking for some payback, because this past Sunday they smashed on those Cardinals 27-10. So he is determined to win in Seattle. So the LA Rams may be bigger, stronger, faster. They may be the most powerful offensive football team here on the West Coast. So you know how they're going to do. There's going to be the best offense versus the best defense. It's going to be the Rams offense taking on that defense of the Seattle Seahawks. Now, what's good about this is that he has a chance to prove that he still can get his name in the conversation. Wilson is a superstar that is loved by everybody. Women love him, men want to be him, and kids inspire to want to be like him. And he has that on his side. Now, the Rams are in a situation where you just lost the football game, and you've been exposed. And I'm pretty sure the Seattle Seahawks have probably already seen footage of how you lost, and are probably going to take an advantage of it. So I would say the first two quarters, Rams might score 4 touchdowns to keep the game tight and close. And then I think somewhere at the end of the second quarter, going into halftime, and in the third and the fourth quarter, slowly but maturely, Seattle is going to dominate the football game. Now, it's going to be back and forth because the first two quarters, it's probably going to be all LA Rams. They're going to be trying to do anything they can to establish that they're the force to be reckoned with. And the Seahawks are going to try to prove that they're the force to be reckoned with. So it's going to go back and forth. Now, is this going to be a high-scoring game? I'm pretty sure it is. After the Rams lost, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a high-impact scoring game. We're probably looking at a score of 30 to 35. Why 30 to 35? Because for me to say it might be 20 to 25 is wishful thinking. It's the LA Rams. There's only 2 ways that the LA Rams win football games. Blow you out or send the game into overtime. Rams can win games in overtime. The Rams can blow you out. So if you're a Rams fan, you're probably thinking I'm giving it to the Rams. And what I just said, there's only 2 ways Rams can win football games. Blow you out by 30 plus points, or let the clock run out and send the game in overtime. That's the only 2 ways the Rams can win the football game. All Seattle has to do is play all 4 quarters, and Russell Wilson just has to get in the pocket and throw the football 7 to 8 times. Now, he might get sacked 2 or 3 times because it's not going to be that football game where it's a walk in the park. He's playing against a super-powered offensive football team. And last season, he played them 3 times. He lost to them twice. And in the third and final game, he beat them once. And then he lost in the playoffs. And had he not lost in the playoffs, that's the team he would have faced in the playoffs. So Russell Wilson's going to have to throw the football 7 to 8 times. If he does get sacked, he better make sure he gets sacked 2 to 3 times. If it's 9 to 10 times getting sacked, and then the football gets fumbled, then you might as well just say the LA Rams win the football game. But I think Seattle's going to win the football game simply because they have something to prove. Now, whenever I always say somebody should win at home, is the complete opposite. So I'm going to say it's 50-50. I was right when I said the Rams would beat the Dallas Cowboys. I was right on that football game. I was wrong last week when I said the Packers would win at home against the Eagles. And I said in a joke, it'd be funny if the Eagles upsetted the Packers, and they did. Now, this game, could there be an upset? Yes, there could be an upset in tomorrow's football game. I do believe that if the Rams win, that'll be an upset. People will be expecting, well, if you lost to the Buccaneers, you should lose to the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to win because Russell Wilson's just going to have to play all 4 quarters. And the only 2 times that the Rams can win is if they blow you out by 30 or if they send the game into overtime. Now, the Seattle Seahawks can win games in overtime too. But history has it that the more pressure you put on that Seattle defense, they start to fold a bit to the pressure. Like Russell Wilson, he'll thrive under that pressure in overtime, but his defense will start to slowly diminish and fold. Whereas the Rams, offense, you put pressure on them, and you would have to probably put so much pressure on them for them to fall. So the Rams love the pressure in overtime, where the Seattle defense, they'll thrive under pressure, but too much pressure, they'll fold. Now, Russell Wilson won't fold under that type of pressure because he's used to playing like that. But one man can't beat a football team. So I'm going to say it's 50-50. If the LA Rams win, it's either by a blowout or they send the game into overtime. Final score, I'm going to say 30 to 35 points. If I say 20 to 25, it would be a close football game. 30 to 35 is still a close football game, but it's going to go back and forth, high scoring. I don't see the Rams coming into Seattle and winning easily. I don't see the Rams losing easily. And I do not see the Seattle Seahawks necessarily blowing them out at home, because it's not going to be a walk in the park. Now, if the Seattle Seahawks do blow out the Rams, it would only be if the Rams' offense is not up to par. So if the Rams' offense ain't up to par, that's the only way that can happen. So I say 30 to 35 rather than say 20 to 25. Because if I say 20 to 25, that's wishful thinking. So I'm going to say 30 to 35 final score. It's going to come down to 1 or 2 touchdowns. And if the game gets sent into overtime, that's going to favor the Rams, because they can win an overtime game. They've done it 7 times last season. Whereas if you look at the Seahawks, they have had overtime games that they have won, and then they've had overtime games that they've lost. So this is 50-50. Until then, peace.